Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm here back with Will Homer, looking over the charts today. Today was a pretty exciting day in the markets. Had a different type of day. It actually seemed as if things were going to wind up dumping off on the broader market, but what wound up happening is that we was able to see a bounce right after the opening bell, more so into the early hours. Um, Before things started to take place, we had a dump initially all the way down in the SPY. Taking a look at the SPY here on the multi-minute chart. We're going to start off here with a broader look. Start off with the hour. Take a look at a couple indicators. Check out volume. See what's happening on the broader spectrum, and then get a little more micro to see what we can find out for what kind of continuation, if that's possible, for tomorrow. To see what opportunities and trades can be taken at that point in time. So basically, we're going to open up the SPY. We're going to go back a little bit here. You can see I have the chart. This is on the 1 hour time frame. I'm taking it from that piece here where we had our last the initial pop back up to 416, roughly back at the beginning of February. And in that time frame, we've been on once again my favorite pattern in this bear market, the descending broadening wedge, which has pretty much played the bottom and top end of both resistance and support levels, as well as the midline, pretty accurately. Since the beginning of March, we've been back on this uptrend, and bull channel has been formed. You can take a look here. You can see now we've actually gotten to the top of this where we hit the midline of the larger bull channel, at the same time forming a smaller bull channel within this time frame. And basically right now we're basically playing the inside of the bottom end of that bull channel that has been formed on the short term. We've actually run back off of it and are looking to catch support and actually break through the 410 mark, which it seems that we have played with a little bit in the after hours time frame. So right now we're sitting after hours roughly about 409.92 at the time of this recording, which is about 4:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once this actually gets going, I can see this continuing on. Major levels to break are going to most likely be the top of this channel here that I have. Again, the larger bull channel that we're in ever since the bottom that took place back around the 379 mark. From there, the 49 mark. So this is the last leg of the descending broadening wedge, which is broken out. We played the retest of the larger descending broadening wedge, and now playing an uptrend up into this region, the midline of the bull channel. The midline, I actually have it sitting right now at about 414. Major level to break, which looks like with the reaccumulation that we got today on the SPY, it looks like we most likely may be heading toward that direction in a little bit. If we can go ahead and hold the 410 level, I can see us breaking that midline, hitting the top of this blue broadening wedge that I have set up here, which is the setup that I've been playing and watching throughout the last few days. I'm gonna get a little closer here. Let's move over to the half-hour time frame, 30-minute time frame, and you can take a look here. We were able to catch today actually a really nice move on this broadening wedge pattern. Got an entry at roughly around 405, 406, and played 408 calls. 0 DT, and pretty much printed heavily on those. At one point, runners were up to about 150%, nearing almost 200% on the last ones that I actually exited. So definitely was a good look in this particular pattern. We started off with a gap down this morning, based off, again, I expect this to happen if you watched my last video in regards to just no one really holding those calls into the weekend, long weekends. We're not really sure what to expect. So, granted, we wind up with a gap down before recovering completely and moving back toward the upside, finishing today at 409.61 on the SPY. Moving along here a little bit closer time frame into the 15-minute. I'm seeing again we also had another broadening wedge pattern that we actually again took place on a smaller time frame. You can see I have a little blue lines marked off, which is basically the bottom end of this bull channel. The green, the convergence of the green, as well as the broadening wedge pattern that I had set up here. Also had a nice little support that's been formed over the last few trading days, where we got the bounce, ran it all the way back up, and in after hours looking to break 410. If we do break 410, get a nice bounce at a secondary test at the top end, I'm looking to enter more calls towards 414, not 0 DTE. I'm more so looking to go in towards a longer time frame, possibly sometime next week. I'm going to take a look here at the volume just to see if that's supported rather than us coming back down. I'd rather continue to move up and find support somewhere in this area around the 410, 411, 412 range. Consolidate a little bit and look to push again. If not, if volume doesn't support it, we most likely will come back down, and this would be considered a rising wedge in that case. So I'm going to pull up a few indicators. Indicators that I got set up here are a few different ones. I generally use the EMAs. You can probably add these if you're not already using these. Several EMAs and SMAs that will form supports and resistances on their own. Ones I use are the 9 EMA, the 13 EMA, 200, the 13 EMA, the 48 EMA, and the 800 EMA. As far as the ideas for the SMAs, I also use the 20, 25, 50, and 200, and also the 800 SMA. All of these will actually show my supports and resistances on several different time frames. Crosses that happen either move momentum upwards or downwards, depending on whether or not they cross to the upside or to the downside. In this particular case, I have the EMAs breaking, as well as them crossing over in several different areas, showing continuation. Volume showed as on the gap down, you can see that there was a contracting supply all the way down. You also did find that we had a reaccumulation. Volume started to pick up in certain areas. You can see that this was indicative of a reversal happening. We did get a nice pop during the middle of the day, which after that huge flush down in the market, we got a nice pop of green volume above the moving average right around here. Reaccumulated a little bit and finally got our push up completely through the downtrend that we've been forming since the last couple of days, and had broken through the volume profile, which is sitting somewhere around 409 flat. It's been pretty much a pretty solid resistance for the last few days, but finally broke through it and get pretty much heading towards breaking that 410 mark, as we mentioned earlier before. What I can see based upon the volume, looks like we're going to most likely have continuation on this thing. Couple of the other indicator I'm using in this particular case is going to be the harmonic indicator from Scott Carney. This one actually shows that we have a target. If we can hold and break above at 410, 58, harmonics would show that we'd have momentum that would push us up toward the 416 mark. If we can go and hold, consolidate above that midline we talked about earlier, 416 looks like the next level of resistance or a target that we could look at, which is the hop level. If not, we're going to break back down most likely on the 1 hour time frame toward 407. This is off of a bearish crab pattern. So we'll keep a look at this and make sure that things continue to move forward for us. But as things go on, we'll keep a look at the market, take a look at futures tonight to see if we can have opportunity to make some more money on some of these calls. A couple other indicators I have marked up over here that we're using to pretty much telegraph this move. I'd be more inclined to say that the upside is on its way. Taking a look at a few indicators. I have the no sure thing KST. It's now crossed up on the 1 hour time frame, which should show us some bullish continuation happening on this particular chart. I also have the shaft trend cycle has now crossed up above the signal line and just flipped green. So we have that also will confirm the move, as well as a max momentum indicator now showing momentum to the upside. Cross this occurred here. We also have some green volume starting to take place on this particular indicator. It's a good one to also add to your charts. I don't really recommend using just one indicator to make your decisions on your investment choices. They work together. The more indicators, the better your opportunities can be. However, they can trip over one another, so be careful which indicators you use at the same time. A lot of these can add a little bit more fluff to your charts, so be very careful with these. The best approach is generally going to be volume, as well as whatever your supports and resistance are, and make the choices from there. All right, so that's basically our quick look at today's action with the SPY. Looking again to enter a couple different calls, most likely 0 DT and longer daytime trades in the morning. We're going to keep a look at the futures for tonight to see if there's any opportunity or any opportunities for continuation going forward. But we will check back in tomorrow just to give an after market update and go over a couple different things from there. All right. Thanks for joining us today. If you like the video, if it provided you any kind of value, please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take it easy.